Welcome to the Delco Nerd Network podcast. I am your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends in the Delaware County area, we get in the basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic, make The Walking Dead great again. That's what I'm calling it.
I like that.
Here to discuss The Walking Dead with me, I have Casey Wellman. I think, has Ian been on the podcast more? You're probably tied with Ian.
I'm getting you 10 minutes behind here on this live thing.
Well, yeah, that's what the live thing's going to be.
It's competitive.
Yeah.
Our numbers are definitely...
So, I'll say the second most frequent guest of Delco Nerd Network. But before we get into the topic, what's going on, Case? What have you been playing? What have you been watching? What's good?
What did I just watch? I just finished up Godless on Netflix.
What's that on network?
It's like a Midwestern...
is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix,
okay.
Sorry.
No, you're
Midwestern good. Set in the 1880s, I believe. End of the 19th century. And it's I can't even get into it without spoiling a little bit about it because it's just how you can describe it. But I highly recommend watch the trailer. If you're slightly interested in the trailer, watch the show because that's what I did and it was fucking epic. And you love Westworld. It's just a cool setting. It's awesome.
Westworld's a shit.
What have I been playing? A lot of Duty, fucking all over World War II. A little bit of Jack in that Jack and Daxter remaster.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through the first one, at least, percentage wise. I've been perfect. I forgot how easy old games are.
Yeah.
Not easy, but simple.
They're just short. I think they're straight up just short. They're not as long.
But yeah, not taking it all away from the game. They were short, but they were great. There
Plus
was
those,
out,
it's a platform of collectathon, and usually there's just not a lot to them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like an open world RPG where there's quests.
Right.
There is no side.
It's
the side content is the collectibles.
Right.
There's only
what's the word?
story.
Linear. You kind of just
progress.
progress.
Yeah, it's a linear.
You
game.
progress through the world as the story unfolds for you. So it's
it's
cool, and you really get a
nostalgia.
I forget. Yeah, I'm walking through the village, the wizard or what's his name?
The Green Sage.
Yeah, no, what's his name though?
Samos.
Samos. Yeah, I was gonna say Seamus, and I was it's not.
Not
Samos. Yeah, Samos. That village and his hut. I was this is so crazy. I feel I'm 12 again in my sitting either in your house.
I'm excited to play that again. That's it.
Real cool.
I was when you said you picked it up. I started watching streams of it, and I'm just fuck. I don't remember a lot of Jack 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah,
I don't even remember
3.
Combat Racing, and I played that whole thing.
I didn't play 3 or the racing, but
Combat Racing's pretty fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's just I don't know.
That's what I don't know if do they have online capabilities for that.
I don't think so.
I was gonna say,
They would have had to add that.
Right,
PS2 didn't have it.
Right.
It was LAN. I'm pretty sure it's still you could play LAN.
Because I was gonna say I might just as well download that one just to play it if I ever want to. But I downloaded the first the 3 games and then I'm just gonna bang them out in some order and then maybe play the racing one. But I just never really heard much about it, so I never.
I picked it up. I think on it was Jack. That's why I picked it up.
The brand sold it for you.
I don't remember. I liked it.
I've absolutely never heard of this game.
You've never played Jack?
No, Jack. I played the racing one.
Jack X Combat Racing.
Yeah.
The pinnacle of the series.
The greatest of all greats.
Yeah.
I only know it by name. I've never even seen footage gameplay footage. So
I don't remember the story at all. To be perfectly honest,
was the story just lived through or played through races?
It had a story. I just don't remember.
Is there any out of vehicle experience or is it just
no?
Okay.
I mean the story is they're
right.
that bar in Haven City.
Oh yeah.
They're there talking
and then
yeah, and then you race.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that where you meet
the fat dude?
Sig?
Sig? The dude with the Peacemaker?
Sig's ego, that or not this? What the hell? No, the
gun.
The Peacemaker. That's the gun. The Peacemaker.
I remember this shit. It's
I gotta get
funny.
back to that game because I want to get to the second one and play. I actually started playing the second one. Me and Connor bought a PS2 probably 6 months ago or something like that.
Are you gonna tell a story about how you have an unopened Jack 2 copy?
Well, I opened it and played it because I couldn't wait. So I have it on PlayStation 2 and now on PlayStation 4. So it's kind of funny. I got a little bit into the game and I was into it. For a day, I played so much and then I just kind of didn't go. My PlayStation 2 is in the basement. And now I have the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 in my room. So I virtually don't leave my room to play games.
Yeah.
But it was like so fun. I got into it, and that's I think why I got the remastered collected.
Yeah, plus they are good games, you know.
Oh,
and I assume they hold up as well as they can, but
like the lava like hover bike thing, like that shit. I remember being so mad not being able to get past that for a while.
I remember the first one, but I know there's one in between like every like sage place.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rest of them.
But yeah, the lava one's like that first one where you go to, I don't even remember who.
You're going to the blue sage place.
Yeah, and then you get across, and it's like, oh, he's not here. You gotta do all this shit, and you're like, motherfucker. But like, that's part of the game. It's fun. I'm having a great time with it. But yeah, other than that, Horizon, I still gotta really like sink my teeth into. I haven't.
Dude, you beat The Last of Us in like a weekend.
That was.
You literally beat it in a weekend.
Dude, The Last of Us.
I was like, what the fuck? Like,
One of the acceptable games to beat in a weekend. Easy.
Dude, like. I don't want to make the bold claim and say it's the best like story I've played in a video game.
I don't know.
But
People
it's
say
fantastic.
That. People say
so
that.
Good. I'm gonna play it again.
That's not like something that like I think a lot. Like my cousin's really into it. A lot of people really say that.
I'm hard pressed to. Red Dead just holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But Last of Us is you could say that and I'd be like, yeah, that's fair. That's kind of fun. Yeah,
I wouldn't if somebody claimed it. Like, I'd be like, okay.
I don't know if I'll play a better PlayStation game. Put it that way. Or a better like
Last
exclusive.
of Us Part 2.
Like, dude, the thing is like I wanted to say Gears used to be like one of my favorite stories in a game, just because like the character, like you get
Gears
so attached.
1 is
like,
so base.
right, but like even so, you get so attached. Like by the end of 3, when, dude, you're like
totally
when people are dropping left and right, you're like, like fuck,
you're
not you.
Yeah.
Even the Carmine brothers, you don't even know them, and you're like, no, why did you go?
Dude,
like, yeah,
fuck that. You just tugged the heartstring.
Yeah, I know, dude, but I'm very, very happy with Last of Us. I can't wait till the second one comes out. Whenever.
Yeah,
did you see the trailers for that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, epic!
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? I looked it up and I thought I was watching like the wrong video because like have you seen the?
Yeah,
where
it's
like, she's hanging. Or
it got a little bit of like a flack
people
for
were
being
hating on it because it was so
Oh,
violent, and I'm just like,
but
what do you want?
What do you mean?
The game.
that's the thing, and I guess people were annoyed that they didn't get like a heads up
Fuck you
before.
people. No,
or
sorry.
there was
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
Or it was because it was. I mean, it was like a woman being.
Yeah, no, but
I'm
still,
like,
I mean,
don't think it was like-
violence
I'm
is
like, it was
violence.
like
No matter, it's
I'm like,
bad.
I mean, dude, she was getting her arm broken in with a brick.
No, it
Like,
was bad, but I mean, that's what that world is. That's what you're known to expect.
Yeah,
and I mean,
dude.
you have the nice thing about like you just beat it. You don't have that. I mean, you have a little bit of time before
you got
Last of Us
fucking
2,
time.
but
Oh, yeah.
got
still,
it's gonna be fresh with me.
yeah.
I'm gonna play it again.
I mean, I'm gonna play it again.
Probably twice. Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I can't.
I was
wait-
also
can't wait
doing
to
a
play
lot
it.
of like the side stuff as I was going through. So like when I get to playthroughs again, like I'm gonna be basically playing.
I know
a
there's
different way every
collectibles
time,
and
yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
There's you can, fuck, what the hell are they called?
Firefly things.
Yeah,
I know.
the pendants. You
Yeah.
can get like all kinds of different stuff, letters that people wrote, and like maybe not recordings. I'm probably thinking of Horizon with that. I played them right back to back, so I like it's all like the same kind of.
Yeah.
I realized my PlayStation games like. I don't know what that play style is, but
It's
like,
a very different.
it's
different.
like Last of Us, Horizon, and Uncharted are like the
Third
three games
person
that I have.
action
Third
games.
person, yeah, action adventure,
Yeah.
whatever. You can, and you can climb in all of them, or not in Uncharted. Well, you can kind of.
Yeah, you can climb in
Sorry, not
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Last of Us, you like
Oh.
kind of can, but you can't. It's not like.
No, I
games.
get what
Yeah,
you're saying.
it's not like a.
They're definitely bleeding that into God of War as well and stuff too. You can see now, but
Yeah.
That looks crazy. I wish I.
And that's supposed to
I
be
can't
coming
wait.
out in
Do they have a
March.
remaster of the old ones? I know.
No, I think
one
just
of
the
them-
third one is remastered.
I think
which,
one. Yeah, I was gonna say.
which makes no sense. It's a fucking PlayStation exclusive game, and like the first two, which are old as hell, aren't remastered. That's crazy.
yeah, no, that's a very odd way to
Yeah,
go. I don't
I
get
like
it.
to play that.
I've been playing like Ratchet and Clank, which I beat and platinumed.
Mhm.
That was fun. We were talking about it a little bit before the podcast.
Instantly, Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
Oh,
you
I
plugged
beat it within a
yeah.
week.
You
I
put
mean,
it in. there was, like,
again,
platinum.
it's not a long game. It's
Right.
it's really not. It took me a week to beat it, and then I beat it one more time within like 3 days, and then I almost played through it again because I just had to finish up the trophies.
I really do feel like I will say this about Last of Us. It's that perfect medium between what a movie and a video game can really kind of
Dude,
come
that's
together
what I
to be.
said,
Like it really
as
is.
I'm playing, I'm sitting there and I'm like, there are so many fucking cutscenes and they're all good.
Like you don't want to skip any of them,
I was like,
and the
into all of
gameplay's
them.
fun.
They,
Yeah.
they like take you in. It's not like something you're like, all right, come on, I want to do this next part. Like none of them are trivial. Like they
Yep.
all are actually pretty important. Like, and they'll take their time. Like there's like some like 3-4 minute cutscenes where it's just like. You're watching the characters do all this stuff, and it progresses like a lot of the story through.
That's
cutscenes. Like, it's pretty cool. I like
Metal Gear Solid 4 has like literally like 45-minute cutscenes, and they're all like really heavy story
remember
stuff.
That's pushing it now.
Like the game,
That is pushing it.
literally the end of the game is an hour and a half of cutscenes.
Seriously?
Like, yeah.
What if you don't have time? Can you pause? Can you wait?
I'm not sure.
You sat there. And
but like it's a heavy game where like a lot of story exposition happens like in cutscenes.
Right.
But like Last of Us is like the exact like a lot of story stuff is happening in cutscenes, but that game like Metal Gear Solid is like fucking meaty when it comes to lore and stuff. I also been playing Bloodborne, which is really fun, which is like a Dark Souls type game, and it's a lot different than Dark Souls. So like I love you usually tell it to me as like, oh, that Victorian age,
like the steampunk, like
it's like it's not even like Victorian age. It's just like the style is, but like once you get into it, dude, it's like fucking like a Lovecraft like horror game.
Good usage. Yeah.
Like I mean, everything in that game, like there are like Cthulhu looking things.
Yeah.
Like it's very like unknown, like horror, like not like, you know, blood everywhere, like typical horror. It's like the horror of the unknown.
EBGB's kind of horror.
Yeah,
like you look at it and you're grossed out.
Like you're not, I don't know. It doesn't like looking at the shit doesn't like freak you out, but like the shit is like weird.
Right.
Like I'm not done it, but like it's a lot of fun. And I finished Deus Ex finally, 100% of that, and that's kind of like all I've been doing. You know, dabbling in Injustice, playing some Battlefield 1. That's kind of it. There's nothing really coming out.
Fortnite.
For a while.
I've been all over that.
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys have been all over.
Made a couple
Fortnite.
of guys. Yeah. You guys should get that if you don't.
The only reason, you know why? The only reason I don't want to.
It's on my list.
Is because it's not the whole game. It's not the whole game.
Dude,
like the regular Fortnite component. Like I don't know. I feel weird as a gamer to like just. I don't even know if that's an open beta and it's eventually gonna go free because the game is in early access.
Right.
So like I'm not sure if like that will eventually get closed off once the game comes out and you'll have to pay for it.
I
don't think people
doubt
realize
it.
that.
Well,
yeah, but
we'll
see. It's free.
Before. You had raised that point before, and like
I think this would be a great podcast topic. Sorry, continue.
Fortnite and like all that.
Well,
just like these types of games, like these like PUBG and all that. Like I think it would be very interesting to talk about.
Widely available to like.
And like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And like, it would be cool to dive into. But sorry,
I can run with that train for a second though. You can turn it into a full episode if you want. But, like,
we can just scrap the Walking Dead thing if we want.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean though. Like, because on one hand, it's like they're gonna make if it is gonna get like fine tuned through this whole process, like, and they let it out early, and all these people get to play. That like when this game comes out, they virtually should have no problems with the servers.
No,
like,
it's yeah.
no,
I mean,
that should all get worked out.
Actually,
because dude, isn't it like 2014
sure
that came out or something?
I don't
like that?
like it's
You
just
realize
becoming such
that
big
game
of like a
was
trend.
announced
I don't like it.
Cliff Bleszinski was still at Epic when that game was announced. Fortnite has been around since like 2011.
Yeah, it's old.
That game has been in
Well,
development.
I mean, it got people freaking on with this new game mode, this PUBG fad thing. Like, I think it's going to be a huge.
Like, I wanna
like
play
I'm not
PUBG.
liking. What was it? We Happy Few has been in like open beta for a while, like
don't even know
forever,
Ian
and
was
like.
just talking Ian's all about that.
I can't confirm that. Whatever.
Oh, the movie thing? No, that's happening.
I was like, the game.
I heard about that forever ago, though.
Dude,
Yeah.
I read the description. That looks like a cool game.
Oh,
it
look, it's
does.
like Bioshocky and like, but like, I don't know, finish the game and then release it, or just do a beta. I don't. But you know, to each their own.
All right, let's get into the topic.
Yeah.
Let's get into the topic. All right, so yeah, real quick, if you haven't seen, if you're not up to date with The Walking Dead, something's gonna get spoiled. So if you haven't seen The Walking Dead,
Everything.
be careful. Just tread
Don't
lightly.
be careful.
We
leave.
won't.
Don't
like
be careful. Leave. No.
We
dude.
won't
I agree.
divulge into every
We can't do
spoiler.
this properly.
Yeah,
you're right.
We have to spoil the most recent stuff.
It won't be intentional, but it's gonna happen.
So,
It will-
spoiler warning.
it's
So
intentional.
this podcast idea came out of the fact that just I am an advocate for The Walking Dead, and I have been for a long time. Even when the people
an
earlier,
apologist, if you will.
even when people were like falling out of it by season 4, season 5, season 6. What are we on 8?
Dude, I don't even know.
We're on
I
season
think,
8.
Yeah.
What season was Terminus? That's the one I dropped off after.
3 was the prison.
Second half of 4.
Yeah, that's when I was like, I'm done.
Because in the beginning
Yeah,
of
we're
4,
on- I
in the
think we're on
beginning of 4, they're in the
7 or
prison
8?
still.
What?
Right? In the beginning of 4, they're in the prison, and then they go to Terminus.
Yeah.
There was
they
one
go
good
to
episode in that entire
Sanctuary?
Terminus season.
Sanctuary
No,
is
sorry,
it?
not the Sanctuary. The fucking
Alexandria is the
Yeah,
Sanctuary.
Is it? Oh, I totally thought
Yeah.
the Sanctuary was the Savior's place.
Wait, you're right. I think.
I don't know.
I think in the comics.
We might need some research assistance, but
Anyway,
Just let me know.
so Walking Dead is just a pile of garbage now, and it's really
I love hearing you say
shitty to admit. It's
Sucks.
a pile of
a lot of
garbage.
time invested in the show.
It's a bad fucking show.
It's become a bad show. Yes.
Yeah, it's just like like my sister watches The Walking Dead with me, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm like, this is stupid. Especially this season. I'm just like sitting here. These effects are shit. I don't know if you noticed, but
you said it, and I was like,
the gun effects, the gun sounds were just trash. I don't know what's going on.
It sounds like the same, like
gunshot for every gun.
Yeah, every time there's like a spree of gunfire, like
it's like the same
sounds like they
bullet
play the
sound.
same clip over and over again.
And one guy was using like an M14, and it was like automatic, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, it's a semi gun. It's a semi gun. Like, it wouldn't be shooting like that. Right. And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what is happening to this show? And I'm like, maybe it's Shiva, because like Shiva was so expensive to like CGI, and she dies. I mean, she dies in the comic too, like very similarly.
She didn't even look that amazing. Like it was.
I mean,
it was good. Like,
yeah, it looked alright. Like I wasn't complaining about Shiva. Yeah, what were you saying, Trio? We're gonna say.
If I'm just gonna be honest with this show, and I think it's the problem with any show, is that it's just going on too long.
Yeah, and
if I'm gonna be honest,
keep going because the comic is so much ahead of
it.
Yeah,
but.
Go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just feel like a show, like with the Game of Thrones, we're getting an endpoint. We know it's coming.
Yeah.
But with The Walking Dead, you're just like, this could, but even without that, you know it's going to end next season.
Robert Kirkman says, like, he's not ending the comic. And, like, I'm not up to date on the comic, but the comic is...
Dude.
What I've read, I'm not up to date, but I like the comic. It's
totally.
a lot better than the show right now.
And, hey, man, if those are good, keep them going. But I just don't think TV shows work the same way. I think it has their strides, and they have to have that end goal. Yeah, it's totally like 100%.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like with The Walking Dead, I feel like they're making money. AMC doesn't have a show like that where like Breaking Bad was in before The Walking Dead, and Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead were like fucking fiending for AMC, and AMC became like the cornerstone of TV. Yeah. And now they're kind of like all their shows are down. Not all their shows are doing as well. Like Into the Badlands is like all right.
I haven't watched that yet.
Better Call Saul is actually really fucking good, but it's kind of like a sleeper hit. I like it. But that show, that show's not going to be like a 8-season show. They're on season 3.
I think the next one had 2. 3 is in the works or was airing.
It's in the works. I think 3 is the next season, or it's 4. Maybe it's 3. No, we're definitely on season.
Definitely 3. 2 down. I know.
Yeah, so we're on we're going into season 3 this year at some point. I don't know, but like it's a good show. But the AMC doesn't. AMC doesn't have much going for it now. Like The Walking Dead has just become like this drag, and like I think Kirkman has totally taken like a step back and is like, hey, it's successful. You guys are doing what you're doing. I'll come in when I need to, but it's on you. And I've heard him in interviews say like they're doing fine. He's not in it as much as he was in season 1 and season 2, and I think season 3, and then he started to step back because like the show was successful, though. So like
the ratings they're still fine, but they've been going down steadily, easy, especially for Walking Dead numbers.
It's still one of the highest viewed shows on TV, which is crazy because like every time I haven't heard like that was an amazing episode, or I can't wait to see what happens with this. Like it just my thing like about it going on too long point trio is like. I think there's just too many episodes. They got comfortable with this split season thing where it's like 8 here.
But
8
every
there.
show
like,
does that.
No, dude, no. Like, I'm not. Like,
it's I mean,
all right, dude.
Go ahead.
Think about Game of Thrones. They do it in one shot.
That's very different.
No, listen.
Okay, go.
Cut off finish.
No, go ahead.
Like shows like Thrones and like Sons of Anarchy did it, and Breaking Bad probably was split at one point, or was it?
It definitely had to have been.
Like AMC might do that for other shows, but like they're just. I don't read the comics, so I can't really speak to like the amount of content that they can put into it. But like the amount of content that they do put into each season that's meaningful could be fit into 8 episodes. There is so much filler.
I agree.
Even make it like 12 episodes and do it straight.
And it's not good filler. It's like bullshit. Like
exactly.
Holy shit, Carol, it's fucking like, die already. No, I hate Carol.
What irks me is like I get it's like this is tough where you get the art of like what the showrunners and like Kirkman want, like versus like what the fans want. Whereas like the Walking Dead is supposed to be this like dreary kind of like these shots like for the show like of like woods with like nothing in it or like a couple like walkers or something. It's like a lot of like it's like.
It's funny because they're not in the woods. They're in out like in the comics and in the show. They are outside like DC. They are not far from DC at all.
I didn't realize they were up in Virginia.
They've moved a lot. And the show doesn't really address it. The comic book kind of does.
They said like one thing in one of the episodes this season. I was like, holy shit, they're in Virginia. Like
they move. But
And I mean, I'm sorry, but the one thing that did annoy me about the beginning seasons of The Walking Dead, it's like, okay, we got it figured out here. We're good. We let a walker in. We got to move. Fuck. I don't know. We were at the prison. Damn it. We were at the farm. Damn it. Yeah. I just feel like they're too dumb sometimes to be like, you guys have been living in this world for like how many years now? 5, 6 years?
I don't know. It's
Figure it out.
And most of the time, it's just like some shit happened.
True, but I just think it's pure dumbassery sometimes too.
Going back to the whole like season split, since I watch a lot of shows that are ongoing, they all do that. That is very common. Where Flash will air like 1 to
cable television. Yeah.
Yeah, for cable television, the Flash will air like 1 to 9, and then like at Christmas they'll take a break and then come back in January.
And how many did I do?
It's like a 24 season run. Okay. It's not even, but it's the logical break where like people are like doing shit during the holidays. Right. It's the holidays, so they're not filming. They take a break from filming, and then they come back. The episodes air, and they film it. Right. Finish filming the show. The Walking Dead's a little different because it's a shorter season, but it's essentially the same thing. But I think they finished I'm pretty sure they're done filming this season of The Walking Dead. I could be totally wrong, but I don't hear a lot about it.
I don't.
And I follow some of those actors on like Instagram and stuff, and like some of the actors from like Flash and like the DC shows, like they're on set a lot, and you can kind of tell, and they talk about it, and they're not like hiding stuff. But I think The Walking Dead is a little more
hush hush.
Yeah, I think they don't. Yeah, I just like Game of Thrones. You don't fucking know who the hell is where.
Those people are off the grid.
Yeah, they have to be off the grid. Yeah. The Flash and that stuff is a little different when they're kind of a little more public. I mean, they don't talk about like what they're doing. They're just like Stephen Amell's like in the Green Arrow outfit, like doing some stupid shit. Like he doesn't say what he's doing, but I don't mind that season split. I don't think that makes the show bad. I really think it comes down to the showrunner. Like, I really think Scott Gimple is, like, trying to just suck the money out of this show. He just seems to, like...
Well, that's what you have to do. I'm not.
Yeah, but, like, the show's... Every formula of every season is the same. Like, even the character arcs are very just like, oh my god.
There is one character who is angsty as fuck and wants to just fuck the plan and kill the bad guy.
And like always be against Rick or the group. There's always that one character.
There's some people falling in love and then one of them dies, and then there's it's just like.
And I mean that kind of things would happen, but it's not very natural. It's like some of it's very forced. It's like redundant. I think Carol needs to die. Carol is a fucking dumb character now.
I don't really know why she did.
She's been there forever, right? Since the beginning.
Short
hair, am I thinking? Yeah.
Carl, Rick.
No, I mean, we don't know about Carl. We don't. I think he's dead.
Her, Carl, Rick, Daryl.
That's it. That's it.
There's 4 people from
the first season. Yes.
And then that guy who Rick Daryl just iced. Remember that guy who
Morales.
Who was he? I don't.
He's not in the comic.
Is he in the show?
Remember, there's it's him and his wife and his 2 kids, and they leave at the end of the season. He's like, all right, we're gonna go to like Fort Bennington or something. They go somewhere else, but they're not in the comics, and they leave. And they never see them again.
That dude just is like at his desk job, and they call him up. Hey, we need you to die in one episode. Right. He's like, all right,
here I go. But
has his big mom.
Be there in a moment.
Daryl's just like.
But like the whole Negan thing, like I think the last really good episode was the introduction of Negan when Glenn and Abraham get killed. I think that episode was really good.
That season split was like
weird.
The last time I was like, fuck, this is like pretty good.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to be like, dude, The Walking Dead's not really good anymore. And that after that, I think is when it started to happen, where it just like crawled the rest of the
it always crawls. It always crawls. The first episode, is always fast, right. Always. The first
Right.
episode,
They start off with
shit's
like,
happening.
nobody talks for the first 10 minutes because shit's going down.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
all on a mission. They're
Something's
going
happening,
somewhere,
and then every episode slows down, and the plot just drags and drags and drags. And character arcs drag.
Dude,
and
if they didn't
drag, and
drop-
it's just like, oh my god.
if they didn't drop the bomb they did in this, what is it?
Mid-season
finale. That was a bad episode.
It
Like,
was.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't even a great ending. It just was like, wow, that's a.
I think the best thing about that episode was the fact that, like, I really like Carl and Negan's relationship is pretty interesting.
how he like wants to like make him his son. Like,
Yeah,
take
yeah.
him from Rick.
It's how it is in the comics.
That's
it's
like
very
that's a
interesting.
pissing contest with Rick. Like I doubt he really.
Makes him spaghetti.
It's kind of obvious when I say it out loud. Like I doubt he cares about Carl. I think he just like knows that that's Rick's kid. He's like, dude, those two
He's
are like, those
fascinated
two are
with
obsessed.
him.
It's like, dude, it's the Joker Batman relationship.
Yeah.
They're like obsessed with each other. Well,
Yeah.
like you know.
I know what you're saying.
Through-
That's
yeah.
a good way to put it. But like, since we're talking about Carl, killing off Carl probably had to be one of the dumbest moves they could have possibly
Carl!
fucking-
Sorry.
It was like, Carl is I think the only reason Rick is even still going.
Yeah.
He's all he has left. Judith, fuck Judith. For she's a baby and she does nothing,
Dude,
and she comes
yeah.
on screen to be picked up and like that's it. In the comics, she's dead. She's out of the picture.
Yeah, I read
I
that.
wish they killed her off.
I read
somehow.
that.
How do they kill? Should we
When
spoil
Lori
it? I
gets-
don't know.
When Lori gets
The
killed at the
comic's
prison,
crazy.
Lori falls on Judith, and that's it. You don't know.
Oh,
if
what a
she's-
shitty way to go!
You don't know
Oh,
if she's
I
dead.
can't even-
dude.
You don't. They never find out, and she's probably dead.
Of course,
But-
yeah.
An infant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
like, they never show it. And
Until
that's a
until they
cool-
show the person that was in the rafters.
That's a
and,
cool
like,
way
save
to
the
kill a
baby.
baby. You know, that's like
I don't know if I want to classify
Lori
cool
gets-
ways to kill a baby,
Lori
but yeah,
gets sniped and she
Duck
falls.
and Nerd Network does not endorse killing babies.
we do not condone this in any way, shape, or form.
Lori gets sniped by some person from Woodbury and falls over and kills Judith, like because she just suffered.
Maybe.
Yeah, she like
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And like the whole reason the governor gets killed in the comics is because the person who shot Lori was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? They have kids," and like just puts a gun to him. And it's Lily Call, who's it's that same character who he has like that relationship with. And like, remember, she goes up to the governor and finishes him.
I remember you called that on Twitter, and I'm like, I know this is just real because you read the comics.
The
Like,
chick who, Tara was rolling around with.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that's how Tara gets introduced. Yeah.
I don't think her last name is Call in the comics. I think it's
But it's she was
Chambers?
with Tara. It's her sister, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then
She-
she like falls for the governor and
And she ends up doing the fatal blow.
she sees him walk in swinging dick and she's like, "Oh my god, the man in charge!" Like,
Look at that.
and then
look
what
at
happens to
that
her?
dick.
Did she get bit?
I don't know. I don't think she on screen dies. I think
Dude,
she just.
she has to.
No, I don't
Doesn't
think.
the little girl get bit? Her
Yeah.
like daughter or something.
Yeah,
like
she
that?
does.
Like,
And that's
playing
why
in
she
the-
goes
is
to
she
the
like
battle.
playing in the leaves or some shit?
She's playing in
Like,
the mud.
mud, yeah, and
The
then it's
mud
just like,
walker. yeah.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
the classic sleeper like agent, just like waiting.
so yeah, like going back to like Carl's not dead yet in the show. So the next episode, I guess, is his last episode, or it's a fucking dream. But Carl Grimes cut his hair in real life, so I guess it's all over.
What's his name? Chandler Riggs.
Chandler Riggs.
Chandler.
Yeah, like he cut his hair, and and I guess it's like, oh, either Carl cut his hair in the show, or Carl's dead. Like it's either one of two.
or he's just done.
And I'm just like,
But I don't know. At the
I don't
same
know how can Rick is gonna go on. I don't understand. Like, is he gonna have like a mental breakdown like he did with Lori? Like he already fucking did it.
Is this a crazy Rick season or sane Rick season? I feel like they
He's been
alternate.
pretty sane. I don't know.
Okay.
Crazy Daryl season.
Okay,
Which,
because I feel like
Yeah,
it usually
Daryl's
goes one
like-
season Rick is insane,
Daryl's
another
very
he's
off the
fine.
rails.
dude, I don't really. We can get to this after Carl. I don't know. Just to remind us, trio, Daryl and Rick, because I want to talk about that. But with Carl, like, I don't know if they're stupid enough to kill him. I agree with you. I don't think it's a good move.
It's
I
not.
don't get it. I don't know what they're gonna do with the show now. Like you were saying with Rick, I think he's like Michonne and Rick's relationship is not strong enough to like base his and Judith like
So-
being present is not strong enough to base his continuing on. So like I don't really know what Rick's gonna be like all about. Like
Yeah, what's he gonna be protecting?
he's Rick, like he has Judith. Like obviously he's gonna like
Yes,
protect
I
her,
don't
but like
know.
she's not a strong character. It's gonna be weird if they just shift it to like
Ju-
my only blood left. Like
Yeah.
and like my girlfriend, Michonne.
It was different
who,
with
like,
Carl. It was very different.
Yeah.
But like in the comics,
like,
like
they've been through some shit together.
in the comics, Andrea takes Michonne's place as Rick's relationship.
Right.
Mind you, they're both alive at
Right.
this point. I think Andrea is for a lot longer. I don't even know if she dies in the comic.
I always forget about that. Like Andrea being.
Dude, Andrea is such a better comic book character. Holy shit! Like in season 3, I was like, "Fuck Andrea," but she's a good character in the comics. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. Michonne and Rick's relationship isn't strong enough to be like Rick is the reason.
Like she's gonna keep him going.
Yeah, and like that's just like all those scenes where like they're like hooking up. It's kind of like I don't know if it's
awkward.
forced. It's awkward. It just kind of happens.
You know what it is? It's like.
It's like let's shove some like relationship.
It
into
feels
them.
like they're both kind of like, it's here. I'll take it. You know, like it's not like it doesn't feel like to me like they. I don't know. Because as I'm saying it out loud, it sounds stupid, but like they don't really feel like they click that naturally. It feels forced, and like. Oh, fuck! I just kind of like lost my train of thought, but like I don't know. They like it's like they settled. Like they're both kind of like we're still both alive.
It's not that I'm like totally against it. I'm not. It's not compelling. I don't know.
No, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the relationships in The Walking Dead.
Glenn and Maggie, like
that works.
That
That
was a
totally
good one.
worked.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. It worked. Like Glenn or Maggie,
The
like
love-
classic.
yeah.
She rejected him in the beginning, and then she was like, "Let's just fuck." And like,
Yeah,
like
just fucking bang
and he
him
was
or
just
something.
like, "What?"
Gee, Indy.
I was like,
so
"I'm little
racist.
Glenn."
That was so bad.
But like, it was good. I don't know. It worked. It worked.
I
And
liked Glenn and Maggie. I was like very shocked when he ate it. Like
I-
very shocked. I was like, they brought him back to do him like that. What the fuck? Wasn't that like 4 episodes later?
Oh, with the dumpster.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like so a lot of people were like, you know, like the whole Glenn and like him dying under the dumpster. They thought a lot of people were like, "Is they doing the same thing with Carl?" Because like
I still think it might
the
be
reason that whole thing with Glenn was shitty was because they have the Talking Dead, and whoever dies in that episode of The Walking Dead is on the Talking Dead. Glenn Rhee wasn't there, or Glenn Rhee. That's his name in the show. Stephen Yeun wasn't there, and Scott Gimple wasn't there. And Scott Gimple was like, wrote a stupid little message, and I'm like, well, he's not dead, clearly.
Right.
Like,
that was nuts.
yeah, and everyone, like, I'm just like, The Talking Dead is just kind of like ruined that whole moment. If it didn't exist, you would have thought, oh god, Glenn died, and then he would just fucking came back out of nowhere.
I don't get how the Talking Dead.
I don't watch it anymore. I used to. I like it. I think Chris Hardwick is a good host. I just think the I don't care what they have to say.
Right.
I'm not interested enough in the show to care anymore.
Right.
I was
Talking-
at one point.
That's become. They did like a talking something else too, didn't they? And then there was like.
They do it
Talking
for a bunch of
Bad.
stuff.
They do
There
you
was
know
some after
for Better Call
that.
Saul in the first episode
Yeah.
and the last episode, which is
No, that's
cool.
actually fine. Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I remember Sons. I don't know how often they did it. Like when it was actually
Talking
airing.
Sons?
It was after Anarchy.
Was it Chris Hardwick though?
No, I don't think so. It was called After Anarchy, and I remember for the
Oh, that's
last
cool.
episode they had like an hour and a half thing after. I watched the whole thing. I was like, this is so
Yeah.
fucking cool because it's like the last episode they brought back people from like so long ago, and you're just like, dude,
Damn.
and like you know me, that's my favorite fucking show ever. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, it's over.
Yeah, but
like,
now
it really clicked right then.
And like in the beginning of the season, usually they have this whole fucking thing, and it's like on stage, and it's like Jesus Christ. But now it's just like Talking Dead, it's kind of boring. It just,
Walking Dead is boring.
exactly,
So, you know,
and I'm just like I don't feel like
One
hearing.
fades off the other.
I don't
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
I don't feel like
It relies on
hearing
it.
like just random banter about the show that's not interesting when the plot wasn't interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
When before like they were getting into it and
Yeah,
like
dude.
talking all this shit about the show and the characters and talking about the comics and Chris Hardwick knows what he's talking about
Yeah.
and like it was just it was good. But now that the show's not interesting, it's not good.
No.
And like I would imagine they're gonna still keep it going, but like I wish I could tell you how are we gonna make The Walking Dead better again or great again. I don't fucking know. I really don't, and I think the show just has to end.
They're in a bit of a bind, if you ask me. I mean, how weren't they saying they were trying to be more akin to the comics, and now they've diverged even further?
Scott Gimple was like, "Yo, we're gonna do more comic book stuff." No, you fucking haven't.
Liar!
You killed Carl, dude. He has a huge. His best arc is after Negan. He has some. When he finally becomes cool Carl, and he's like, "Fuck the cowboy hat. And guess what? I'm gonna get sunglasses, poke the one eye hole out with my eye, and the one with the shade, that's gonna cover my missing eye. And I'm gonna look like a badass. And that's what he does. And he's like, fuck, he gets rid of the cowboy hat finally. He wears it for a while. And he's wearing like a tank top and jeans, and he's older, and he's cool. And I'm just like, yeah, Carl. Yeah. Fuck yes.
I had a question, now it's gone.
I don't think he's dead.
And now we're not gonna see that.
I don't think he's dead.
I guess we're not gonna see it.
Oh,
and he cuts his hair.
So,
I don't think he's dead.
where did he get bit in the show?
In the stomach.
Oh, so they can't cut his arm
So,
off.
but apparently he gets bit like an episode before, in the same episode. I think I shared that Reddit thing with you.
He gets bit the episode before.
Yeah. So
people think they never.
Yeah.
Really
So he has this. Well, like he goes up to Negan. He's like, he says something about dying.
Kill me.
Yeah. He's like, it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter because you're gonna
leave them
die.
alone, kill me or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty cool. Like honestly, like the way they played that off was interesting.
I don't know. Like I don't fucking buy. I actually, realistically, I think I'm gonna be wrong, but I don't think he's dead.
Like, I think he's dead.
I will not be surprised.
But that's what I'm sitting here and I'm like, how is he gonna fucking come back for that? Unless Carl's immune.
That's the thing. I can't
like
think
how
of how. Exactly. Yeah. That would be the plot twist of the show.
Because like no one's immune in the comics. Like the fucking infection and how it works is totally doesn't matter in the comics. I like how in episode 1 they kind of like delve into it with the CDC, which is only in the comics, and Jenner, the doctor's like, like we fucking tried to cure this and like we did all this and
nothing happened.
Nothing.
Yeah. Do they ever dive into that without saying what?
Never. And I think that's kind of like part of the whole thing that they don't. But I like on the show they do. It's like different.
The going on in the face of absolute like failure or whatever.
Yeah, but like where they are in the comic now, the show. The comic. This whole thing is a lot different. It's just like people like have adapted. Like it's like everyday life now. It's not just like we're surviving. It's like
that's the thing.
We're living.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like, and that's kind of what happens after Negan. Not to like delve into it, but like it's about living, not surviving.
Right.
It becomes about like the communities coming
like,
together and like forming civilization as best they can in a world that's still really fucked up, and a lot of shit does start happening. Right. That it's just like, wow, fuck Negan, this is nuts. Yeah. But yeah, like I imagine they're gonna do some of those plots, but like it sucks we don't have Carl, or we might not have Carl. We don't know. But
I think you're right. I just want. I don't.
I agree. I want Carl to be alive too.
I don't see.
I just don't understand where Rick's motivation is going to come from. I just don't understand how Rick wants to be alive anymore.
Also, how would you cure like the bite on the side?
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
That's what I'm
saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Could he be immune?
I don't know how.
That would be the only way I could imagine copping out of.
I mean, he's the only kid. I mean, Sophia. Besides Sophia, and maybe a few other kids.
Like, that would actually be a cool development. Like, they find out, oh shit, Carl's been immune. Or like, of course they don't have to go.
I think that's a little too up there for. There's no scientists, like.
Right.
Well, true. No, I'm not saying they have to lead that into like this is the cure.
But I feel like you would need to explain it, and not just be like, he's immune.
I feel like that.
All right.
I feel like that's such a cop out.
Yeah, it's a cop out.
I think younger people in the world could be immune if they try to engross that even more. I don't think that's as much as a cop out. But I don't know how else they could even begin to save him if it's a bite on the.
That's what they would do because they couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like thinking about it now.
No, yeah, you're fine.
I'm still thinking about Rick and Daryl, which I do want to get into.
And like, I don't think they'll ever kill Daryl, and that's fine. Daryl doesn't have to die. He's kind of a character, like he's fine. I think Daryl's a character who's been in since the show, who I don't have a problem with. I have a problem with Carol. I have a problem with, like, some of Ezekiel's
kind of
stuff.
played out, yeah.
Yeah, like he's like that in the comics, same kind of arc, but like I don't like his dynamic with Carol, probably because I don't like Carol at all. Carol's just a fucking bitch, and she just like has no purpose. She's just like, before she was like for the boys, man, and now she's just like totally not for the boys.
The people.
She's just like she goes out of her way to do shit to get people in trouble. Morgan is the same type of character.
She and Morgan are inconveniences. They're burdens.
Yeah.
Like, they really have no reason to still be alive, and like the amount of people who have almost died or I guess really died.
They're both dead in the comics, by the way.
Good.
So this but like maybe that says something. Their storyline is totally original now. Because both their characters are actually crazy in the comics.
Well,
Morgan
could be going that way.
Carol at one point in the comics asks Lori if like she can share Rick with her. It was really weird. And Lori's like, what? And she's like, oh, no, forget it. And she ends up, like, committing suicide by, like, tying herself to a post and, like, letting a walker, like, kill her. Like, she's nuts. And Sophia survives. Morgan's kind of, like, crazy. They go back for him, and he's crazy.
Like from his son and all that?
Yeah,
like,
but he never really recovers, and I forget how he dies, but he dies. And
I just thought of T-Dog. Remember T-Dog?
he was a good character.
Saving everybody, shutting the gate.
He's not in the comic, but
He was a
he
great
dies.
character. I love
Yeah,
him.
I like T-Dog. T-Dog was...
You get that nasty bite in his shoulder.
Yeah, T-Dog was cool.
Alright, T-Dog.
And again, the show has done a lot of original characters that are cool, but all the comic book characters that are dead in the comics and still going kind of like fall the wayside. I just feel like their arcs aren't good, probably because they don't have Kirkman's writing to necessarily back it up. And I think Scott Gimple, going back to him, I think he's just kind of sitting there because you see him on The Talking Dead and he's super pompous and super like, this is the greatest show on earth. Look at me, I'm Scott Gimple. I'm the showrunner for The Walking Dead, one of the greatest shows on earth. And like, I just get this attitude from him. I'm just like, fuck you, dude. The show is not that good. I feel like I hope people agree. And like, I've looked on the Reddit and people are saying like similar things that like, Scott Gimple wasn't the showrunner from the beginning. I think he came on around season 3. Gail Ann Hurd was.
Right when it went to shit.
Gail Ann Hurd is actually, do you know, she's like James Cameron's ex-wife, and
Really?
she worked on like Aliens.
I didn't know that.
And she was big in the show for a while, and then I think she left like entirely.
What's up, Gina?
That's Ada. That's my
Oh
dad's
shit, I
mom.
couldn't even see her. I just saw the white head.
Yeah. But
Ada.
yeah, like the showrunners have switched, and that sucks. And it's clearly not working. And I don't know how they're gonna end the show. I really don't. I don't know how they could, unless they just fucking they just ended it.
Nah, I really think the showrunner thing is a big deal too, because I don't know. You watched Dexter, right,
Yeah,
Casey?
Yeah.
Like halfway through that series, they changed showrunners, and it really
Yeah, it affects the
you
show.
can tell.
Yeah.
Like you can just the whole story direction they go, and like
Did you finish
if you
that?
get the wrong person on a certain property, it doesn't. You can see how it just
Hey,
fucks
man,
it up.
And it's not like Greg Nicotero, who's awesome and has been part of the show since the beginning, and he's good. Like, he's not the issue. I think it's Scott Gimple. Get rid of him, and I think you're gonna fix some of the problems. I think he's just he's riding the coattails of what was good about The Walking Dead, and he's not changing it because for some reason he thinks it's good. Because that's what they did and that's what worked, but now it doesn't, and they're not changing.
Right.
You know, I like Negan as a character. He's kind of getting a little boring, but like his character
dude,
is.
I'm so over that. Go ahead.
I am over him. I like his character, but I'm over it at this point. I just don't know what they can do. I really don't. Like, I'm sitting here and it's like, maybe it's the showrunner. If I have to say anything about it, I think they need to just switch up showrunners.
I think Negan's so played out. Now I'm like hung up on that. Like, there's just
He's
too many.
he's
Like,
kind of similar in the
there's
comics.
too many.
But mind you, he's more. He curses a lot. His language is a lot more colorful. Like, he does say a lot of like sexual stuff in the show, but it's it's toned back a little bit for the show.
But just
go
in
ahead,
general
sorry.
for him, like, it's all right. Shit hits the fan. Here, Rick almost dies. Neither do. Rick goes and like is like breathing like that, all exasperated, and then
gives a nice speech.
and then
This is how we survive.
and then Negan goes back and does his typical ma like fucking slumping with the bat over his shoulder, like swinging it like a dickhead. Like he's so repetitive, and I guess like that's his personality. But like, there's no, like, I don't know. You never see him like shook up, and I guess that's kind of part of like.
Real
Negan.
quick, I think I'll jog your memory. The scene with him and Gabriel is the best scene.
That was the only time you saw him do anything.
Oh,
different
that was so
besides
good.
be
That was one of the
effective.
best moments of the season.
That
so
was a
far.
good season.
It was
Or a good part of the season.
Yeah, a good part of the episode where like Negan like confines in Gabriel for like really no apparent reason other than they think they're gonna both
I think
possibly
I
die.
think he just wanted the gun. I think that was like a Negan like.
Oh yeah, he was definitely working him, but like I think he was just like, there's a chance we could both die right now.
But it worked in both their.
I thought it was cool.
It worked in both their favors though,
You know-
because the doctor ended up with Gabriel, right, and then
I don't even understand what's going on with Gabriel. Fucking Eugene. Oh my god.
Eugene's weird.
Oh my god.
I like him, but I think
Gene's still alive?
Yeah, he's still
I think
alive.
he needs to die. I guess he's coming. That's coming his way soon.
He doesn't die in the comics for a while. I don't know if he died. If he's dead. I don't think he's dead.
He's playing too fast and loose right now.
Oh, dude, he's gonna. Dude, if Rick doesn't fucking put him out of his fucking misery, because I'm just like, dude, there's no coming back from this. Even like Dwight's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like really, dude? Like, come on.
I don't know who would do it, because like I would have said it would be Abraham, but like Abraham and like because those two.
I think Rick or Daryl, because I feel like Dwight. I like Dwight's character a lot, to be honest, because I like how he's like very irredeemable in the beginning, but then he kind of like is coming back.
It's still like fuck him though. Cause
I don't really think so, because he never liked Negan from the beginning, but he was working Negan, like he had to.
Yeah, but he was a piece of shit. You're right.
I guess
you're right. He was surviving. Yeah.
He was surviving. He was doing what he had to do. You know.
I agree with that.
And okay, Daryl's pissed at him, and like you get why. But I think he's coming back. But it's very opposite Eugene, where Eugene's like was in with Rick before, now he's like, fuck this, I'm on Negan's side. Yeah, go Negan, number one.
All of a sudden, Tara is like suddenly some like crazy ridiculous badass. Like, she was like I don't.
Her
like
writing's very like blunt.
Stupid, dude. The
blunt.
dialogue has gotten just in general like butt cheeks.
Yeah,
Nothing they say is ever like
relevant or good. It's very.
I got a line. We gotta talk about one of them off air, because like no. It's gonna start too much shit, and I'm sorry. I brought it up. It was dumb, but I have to remember to tell you it later. But just in general, the dialogue, like they say things. I just like roll my eyes. I'm like, why the fuck was that even said? Like, I would almost rather see that stupid like woodsy shot than like hear that dumb fucking line. Like, because it provided no sustenance to like the show. I didn't get anything out of your character development. Like, people just say things to say things. It's like they're filling the space that doesn't have sound with like shitty sound. So
I agree, and like I'm just getting to a point when I've given up. I don't know. I just don't know.
And it sucks because I'm gonna keep watching
exactly
until they finish it.
I'm too far deep to just be
they're 100 and some episodes in. Like,
you guys are really committed at this point.
Yeah,
it was like when I like Lost. I got like to the last season. I'm like, I just gotta do it. Yeah. Like, I don't know. And then
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the same way. Even when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham are bad,
there are some I'm just like, nah. I don't like Gotham's so bad. And
I didn't get into
it's gotten a little better.
Yeah,
it ebbs and flows. Same with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Even like Supergirl, I don't watch anymore. Like, there's a few.
You're just bitch.
I'm not. All right,
Supergirl's not a bad show.
It was okay. It's an okay show, and that's fine. And it has to keep. I'm not here to talk about Supergirl. I'm just saying I don't like it as much anymore. We'll fist fight off camera.
All right, wait. Speaking of friendly disputes, what the fuck is up with Rick and Daryl? When did Daryl go off the rails, like, and start being the new fucking what's her name who just went like,
Carol?
No, well yeah, kind of, but the new Sasha. Like, why is he all gung ho? Let's kill them all. Fuck everything up.
But like we stated, like, there's always that character going against the grain, going against the main character for the sake of going against the main character.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me that it's Daryl. I get it. Like, if they think that formula works, like, it's like, fine, do it again, but do it with someone who it's like believable. You can see it happen. Like,
someone whose way of morality.
Like, Carol makes sense. That kind of already is there. Like, Rick banished her after she burnt what's-his-face's wife at the prison. That, like, random guy.
Yeah, and that's when it all kind of started, like...
That was when Carol, like, kind of went off on her own. Like, I don't give a fuck about anything. She didn't have Sophia anymore. Is that the daughter's name? Sophia. Yeah. She didn't have Sophia anymore. Like, but, like, Carol, that makes sense. But, like, Daryl... Nothing that I can remember happened that would make Daryl so, like, fed up with waiting to get back. Like, what happened? So, like, Dwight was the one who he had, like, the personal beef with. Like, yeah. And now Dwight's working with them, but he's like, let's kill them all anyway. Like, what is he, like, itching to kill Dwight or something? Or why is he so,
I think he just wants to get revenge. And, like, I think a lot of people just want to get revenge. Right. And, like, that's the thing when they blow up the gate and, like, all the walkers get in.
I was so mad. I was like, they're gonna fuck something up.
Yeah.
I was like...
and then Michonne's like, I'm out of here. And it's like, oh, of course you're Michonne. Like,
Michonne could have stopped that.
and by the way, I hate the garbage pail kids, the junkyard people. I just call them
fucking techno bitch,
Fucking-
punk, Swedish house
Fuck.
music, listening ass fucking bitch. I hate her so much, dude.
Like, who are these people?
Why do they talk like that? Like,
I don't know.
They're humans, and they were alive for a long time before.
And
this
she's
shit
like
happened.
naked, like in an apron, like making.
That was so
a
dumb.
sculpture.
I wish Rick killed
And then
her.
Rick's in his boxers, like in like a fucking like
Yeah.
cargo thing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm just like
It's
again,
like weird.
I don't think the show is irredeemable. I just think it's going to take a lot of work. Go fucking talk, Trio.
What?
What are you gonna say?
Oh,
No, he's
You
No,
laugh.
nothing.
he's
I was
making
just,
faces
I'm just
so I
making a
called you an
face.
apologist earlier, and you're doing
I don't think the show is irredeemable, but I think it's going to take a lot of work to get it out of the hole, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
I just don't think there's not enough time in the fucking world at all for them. They can't do, because if they say they do, what season are they on right now?
I think 8.
If they do 2 more seasons, and by season 2,
Season 8
at
is a
season
Walking show.
10,
When shows
they're
hit
like,
100
all right, this is
episodes,
kind of good
That's a
again.
big deal. Like Walking
Yeah.
Dead hitting 100 episodes is a big deal.
No, I agree. But
Dude.
like just showing your reaction now kind of shows me that would you rather have a very satisfying ending before this point or gotten to this point?
Satisfying ending.
What?
Ending.
And
Satisfying.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I don't know
Like,
how
so-
it could have been done. Like,
Obviously
I don't know
better
how
than
you
what
could've ended
happened.
The show.
Dude.
I think that they could have went along with whatever story. I think they probably should have followed the comics from what you're saying, anyways, a little bit
mean, they
more
have
truly.
been, but a
but I
little
think that
closer,
they
yes.
could have found a way to, within the confines of the comics, put an end cap on it. But obviously, the comics are still going, and you can go check those out if you'd like. But I see you want. Of course, I'd want those 7 awesome seasons of a show if I could get them,
And The Walking
But-
Dead, like
like Game of Thrones.
it's just like that season 1. Holy shit! Probably like one of
Awesome.
the
One
best
and two
seasons
were all
of
incredible.
TV I've ever seen.
Totally agree with
The
that.
first episode alone is like, holy shit, this is fucking good. And it's the show that got me into comic books. Walking Dead was the first comic book I ever read because I was just like, this is good stuff. Like I want to see, like I want to read the comics. Let's see how it like compares. And it's a very different experience. But like, yeah, I just don't think we're getting back. Like when you look at back in Game of Thrones, a very popular TV show right now. If you say season 1 was like the best season, you're definitely like kidding yourself.
Yeah.
Season 1 was not
Yeah.
it was good, but like
didn't
it
look
wasn't
good.
the
That's
pinnacle
the
of the
problem.
series. I think the last season was definitely like
Dude, it's just been
one of the
building.
greatest things ever.
We're not talking about Thrones right now. I was about to like dissect.
And but
Thrones, I was
the
nah, this is
next
Walking
season
Dead.
of Game of Thrones is going to be fucking huge. Real quick, what does that error message say on my thing? What did it say?
OSU audio or something.
Okay. I was just
Recommend it. Reconnection successful.
no.
OBS Studio.
Did OBS? No, OBS is fine. Okay. I thought it was like my hard drive filling up. I kind of freaked
I
out.
thought you had terrible eyesight. How can you see that?
I just saw the alert.
He probably knows the
I
blue
can't
thing.
read
yeah.
it.
No, I mean like that. It's fine. I get you can see the notification.
Where was I? Yeah, so like this last episode of Game of Thrones or last season of Game of Thrones is gonna be fucking huge, and it's gonna be big because it's the ending. You know, we know it's ending. I don't know how much more
I'm
I
only
want
being
to
quiet
say.
because I know I can't get into Thrones right now. We already had the podcast on Thrones.
I was about to start saying, I'm like, no, we have a whole
Game of
thing on
Thrones is,
this.
like,
It's
a
fine.
lot different.
It is, but at the
It's a
same
lot
time, it
different.
isn't.
Walking Dead. We can't go down this path.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, just-
You know,
I'm sorry to keep us in.
Game of Thrones is a great
I
show.
guess to kind of like wrap it up, we've kind of been going a little bit. Like I've said that I besides getting rid of Scott Gimple, I don't know what they could do to make the show better. Like, what do you think? Like
Like I said, I guess I misspoke on the mid-season break thing. Like, for whatever reason, they might need it. Hold on, because
Okay.
For whatever
I'll
reason,
shut up.
for whatever reason, like you might need it, whether it be like holiday reasons or they just need like to take break from shooting, whatever. Like you just might need it. I get that. They don't need 16 episodes a season at all. They don't need.
I can get
They
down with
probably
that.
don't need more than 10. If I'm being honest.
That's the problem with a lot of shows these days. Like, just give me less episodes with more in them.
Yeah,
Make them an hour and 15 solid. What's up with the weird, like, they'll have, like, one that's,
Oh
like,
my
50
God.
minutes and then one that's, like, 100.
Yeah,
or
they
an
just
hour
don't
and
give a
20, like-
shit.
So, yeah, like,
they
I'm
really
saying,
don't.
Make a little bit more consistency in your scheduling of, like, the length of shows, and you can probably keep them more condensed. Like, once they just know, okay, we have an hour and 20 minutes to fill. what's the most important stuff that we want to put? What is the stupid shit that we've been putting in that we don't need? Like, they need to figure that out because there's just too much crap, I think.
Yeah, I don't think shortening the seasons is a bad thing. Like Tria was saying, like, cable shows run, like, 24-episode seasons. Like, Flash, Arrow, Supergirl are all, like, 24 episodes.
And even those suffer from it.
I mean, they have filler, but, like, I'm not complaining about the filler. It's usually pretty good filler. Like, it's nothing like...
They're also, what, only 20-minute or 30-minute episodes? Or
No, they're an hour long.
Oh, they're 45 minutes
But
with
mind
commercials
you,
and everything.
The plots are very much contained into one season, and usually the plot begins in that season and ends in that season. And plus, they have side arcs with side characters, and they have a lot more time to get a lot more done.
Right.
Whereas The Walking Dead really doesn't. It doesn't allow for some of those. Like the way they write the show, it doesn't allow for side arcs and side characters to really flesh out.
But that's what I'm saying. They could fill in these stupid spots where they have nothing going on with that.
Does nothing for the audience.
But they won't.
Kind of like, yeah.
I just don't think they. I don't know. I just don't know what they could do at this point to make the show better. Again, like I keep saying it, I just don't know what arcs they need to add to like make character arcs, character relationships better.
Relationships is a big thing. I think there's just all kinds of random, like, mismatched, like, this person's friends with that person. They don't really click at all. Like, they're, like, forcing relationships because they're killing off the most random people, I feel like, in a way. Like, and then, like, you leave behind... Rick and Michonne, like, we talked about that. It doesn't really make sense to me. Like, it's out of, like... It's available. It doesn't feel like they, like, want each other. I don't know. I guess they do. It's hard to word, but, like, basically, they just...
It just seems weird.
It just, like... And, like... I like them both. I liked their characters better before they got together or whatever, because, I don't know, like, the friction they sometimes had was, like, they're both real strong-headed, and now they're, like, together and strong-headed instead of, like, that could be that would be a one that makes sense instead of...
Michonne's a very, like...
Michonne and Rick butting heads makes more sense than, like, him and Daryl now. Like, I don't get that. Daryl and Rick, like, fucking duking it out and beating the shit out of each other and then blowing up
on the side of the road.
That was so dumb.
Them being very cool about it the next second.
That was the stupidest thing I've seen. Like, that was one of the things that I was like, that was dumb. You just did that because you didn't have action in this episode or something. Like, or they did, but you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of out of nowhere. Like, nothing really happened that the two of them should go and, like, fucking beat each other to death over it. Like,
yeah.
It was weird. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like they had a little hissy fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A hissy fit is the perfect word for that. Like,
A little tantrum.
Yeah, they both were just like, my way, and then they were just like, fucking smacking each other.
I wish I like saw that coming and like partook in
Did
that.
it back, yeah. Like, a little like finger slaps. Yeah.
Sure, how long have we been going?
Well.
Gucci's getting tired of hating.
The live stream's at about an hour.
Okay.
So I'd say shave about 10 minutes off that because we
I'm
started
just
going.
trying to think of like what more do I want to. I just want to make sure we weren't going too long. I don't know what else I want to say or what I can say. You know,
it's one of those things where I'm very frustrated and I have a lot of like thoughts about it, but I can't put them into words right now. Like when I'm watching a show, I'm like, you didn't need that, and I don't have like examples or like I'm like, oh, I wish they did this.
I mentioned it, but like the effects need to be better. I don't know if their budget was cut. I doubt it, but I like the effects this season.
They have a bunch of lawsuits, I think.
Fucking trash.
They need to get on some earwear too. They'd be fucking deaf by this time.
Dude, the
I'm not
Flash's
kidding.
effects were better than The Walking Dead this season. Every DC show's effects were better. And I'm just like, this is.
They got a shit ton more going on.
Yeah,
like
like-
special effects. Like you're just getting someone getting shot and some blood and
Yeah, or
Walking
like,
Dead, yeah.
Oh, dude, like the bullet.
Of course,
the
Shiva, or
bullet,
whatever.
like sparks on the wall. I'm just like, what is that? I'm
It looks like, you know,
it
there's
looks
like,
so bad.
You remember those Time Crisis games where like it's like just a flash? It's like
Yeah.
like a perfect cross, like
It's-
of a
yeah.
flash over the muzzle of a gun. Like,
Yeah, like
it's
that's
that,
what it is.
And like
And all the gun sounds are the same.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
single gun.
yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, should we just use the AK sound again? Yeah, why not? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just-
rinse repeat?
I don't know
Yeah.
if like I really don't know if Shiva's budget like kind of killed it for them. Like I would imagine that's expensive. But like Flash did like an entire
Yeah, you gotta-
CGI character
they should be able to
for,
plan
like,
that
3
shit out.
episodes.
Yeah.
Like, there was no issue.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't really have a good understanding of how much that costs.
I don't-
I know it's
it's a lot
expensive
of
You know-
right now.
It's a lot.
Interesting fact for you: the hardest CGI like thing to create is water.
Yeah.
You hear that? I was like water, and like I heard you saying that, and I
Yeah.
just kind of like saw where you're going.
It's
That's crazy.
You know what the
It's
hardest
water.
CGI
I don't know
thing
what-
to create is? Henry Cavill's mustache.
No, the absence of Henry Cavill's mustache. To actually just put a fucking mustache would have been way simpler. Apparently,
He had a mustache
there were some scenes. Did you see it?
in Justice
Do
League.
you know
Yeah.
that Henry Cavill's lip was kind of weird a lot?
I do think we only noticed because we were looking for it a lot of the time.
Dude,
But like he had
if you're
to,
watching the movie next time, just take a note of Henry Cavill's upper lip.
like he was supposed to be doing Mission Impossible 3. He's
And he
the
had a
villain in that, and he has to have a mustache. And like apparently,
They wouldn't let him
Paramount
shave it.
and DC had this big hubbub, and they were like, "No, he can't shave it." And DC came in and showed a scene from like Batman vs Superman and CGI'd a mustache on him, and it looked real. And they were like, "See, it'll be so much cheaper and easier." And they're like, "Nope, he can't shave it."
Oh
Yep.
shit, that's fun. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that. I haven't seen Thor yet. I keep trying to find it.
watch. How did you feel about Justice League? Okay.
We're super off top.
You guys aren't gonna like it. It was pretty like
No, I'm
forgettable. Like I was just sitting there and I was like, it's all right, but like I don't really. Honestly, this is probably just me. Like I just didn't really pay enough attention. Maybe,
Hey, man.
But like me and Techman watched it together and we both were kind of like.
I mean, Steppenwolf's like, all right, like
No,
he's
man.
not the highlight.
It was cool. It was good. It was a good movie.
Honestly, I'm just.
It
Hey,
wasn't a
man.
movie that I'm gonna be like itching to go see.
And that's. I agree. That's the sad part to me.
Snyder's cut now.
That non-existent cut. Anyways, keep going.
All right, yeah, like I feel like unless you really have anything else to say, like I feel like closing statement.
We're fed up.
I think the fans of The Walking Dead are.
I've had enough.
I've had enough.
3 words. We're fed up.
If they're not gonna make the show better, let's just end it. I don't want to see the show become this like absolute piece of garbage that like makes the whole show shitty.
I'll liken it to Eminem. Started off amazing, and now it's.
No big deal. I hated The Walking Dead before it was cool.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Trio was indeed on the forefront of that one. Yeah.
It's okay.
But anyway, that wraps up this podcast. Thank you for watching the Delco Nerd Network podcast. You can find us at our Facebook at facebook.com/Delco Nerd Network, and Instagram and Twitter at the Delco Nerds, and at YouTube at Delco Nerd Network Trio. I think I just nailed that outro. I've been
As the personal outro person, I have to give you a 5-star review. Thank you.
That was good.
I've been Gooch for Casey. Thank you for watching. Stay nerdy.
Thanks.
What?